Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Kweli, the anti-burnout coach for high-achieving professional women. Welcome to the third episode of the Anti-Burnout Live series, Thrive Beyond Burnout. I am so happy to have you all here. All right, so our topic today is Ease Your Mind, Practical Stress Reduction Techniques for Busy Professionals. And we are going to explore simple, practical techniques to reduce stress, including mindfulness and breathing exercises. So let me pull this up. All right, so before we get started, I always like to know a little bit about the folks who are watching. I would love to know one thing that tends to stress you out the most during your day. And while you're typing, I'll just tell you, for me, it is time. I get so nervous about time. I try to keep my day as predictable as possible so that I can be on time. If I have something due, I want to have it done ahead of time. So whenever there is a last minute deadline, it really stresses me out. And of course, some of you know, I used to be an endodontist or root canal specialist. So I would be trying to squeeze a patient in to relieve their pain, and it would just wreak havoc on my nervous system. Trying to squeeze one person in, but I didn't want to be late for the next patient. So the struggle was real. Hi, Tara. Hi, Anasia. Hi, Nandi. Okay, Tara says the fact that work never ends, no matter how many hours I work, stresses me out. I can understand that. It's just constant. Hi, Monica. Good evening to you too. So last week was episode 2, and we talked about daily routines for enhanced well-being and the importance of prioritizing ourselves and actually scheduling our self-care. And we talked a little bit about using the priority matrix, also known as the Eisenhower matrix. But you can use that priority matrix if you need help prioritizing all the things that are on your to-do list. And during that episode, I shared a little bit about my own journey with burnout. I won't get into all of the details of my experience with burnout, but I'll just mention that I was a root canal specialist. At one point, I had my own practice, and it was very stressful. I was taking care of anxious patients, but also running the business. And the stress got the best of me. I ended up having some health issues, closed my practice, kind of burned it all down. Didn't know I was experiencing burnout at the time. But that wasn't sustainable. I ended up closing my practice. So now my mission is to help other professional women prevent or reverse their burnout so they can have a fulfilling professional and personal life. And I really wish I had a lot of the tools that I'll be doing on these lives and teaching in my programs back then. So with my clients now, we focus on things like identifying our core values, figuring out what they actually want rather than just being on autopilot, scheduling time for themselves on their calendar, and creating an ideal daily schedule. And of course, you all know I am a super fan of self-compassion. So we also make sure that they're treating themselves with kindness and giving themselves grace. So my goal is to help high achieving professional women enjoy the lives that they have worked so hard to build while being kind to themselves. I see comments out of the corner of my eye here. Okay, so Monica says, making a mistake that will cause another person, another harm stresses me out. I can understand that. Okay, so like I mentioned, today's topic is Ease Your Mind, Practical Stress Reduction Techniques for Busy Professionals. We'll explore simple, practical techniques to reduce stress, including mindfulness and breathing exercises. So I thought it would be good to just review what stress is. And we discussed this a little bit in episode 1 when we talked about the signs of burnout. So, what is stress and why is reducing stress important? Well, stress is the body's response to any demand or challenge, and it's unavoidable. And especially for my clients, high achieving professional women. But the good news is the World Health Organization mentions that the way that we respond to stress makes a big difference in our overall well being. So, this means that we do have some power in managing our stress and its effects, and that's important. So, why is reducing stress important? Well, excessive and prolonged stress can lead to burnout. And there's a lot of different definitions for burnout. I like the one from the APA Dictionary of Psychology. It says burnout is defined as physical, emotional, or mental exhaustion accompanied by decreased motivation, lowered performance, and negative attitudes towards oneself and others. And the part that is so real for me is negative attitude towards oneself, which is why I think that the self compassion component of my work is so crucial. We can't control a lot of things, but we can start working on our relationship with ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, how we feel about ourselves. So anyway, reducing stress is crucial for preventing burnout and maintaining your well-being. Also, high levels of stress can impact your health. Ask me how I know. Your productivity and your overall happiness. So can you all relate to feeling stressed out? If you can, just type yes in the comments here. And also, can you see the importance of reducing your stress? So that's what we're going to be talking about here tonight. Hi, Thais. Thais says yes. Monica says yes. Hi, Nina. You made it. Nina says yes. Imani says yes. Keisha, she says for sure. Hey, Kwei. Nandi says yes. Tara says yes. Anasia says yes. It's unanimous. You can relate. So that's what we're here to talk about tonight is how we can reduce our stress. Okay, so today we're going to talk about 2 practical stress reduction techniques: mindfulness exercises and breathing exercises. So first of all, what is mindfulness? And this is interesting. We talked very briefly last week, and Monica asked about, could I say a little bit more about mindfulness? And I said, you got to come back next week. So welcome back, Monica. Oh, and also, Monica, welcome to the Reignite Your Life Intensive. Monica signed up for the Reignite Your Life, the 4-week Reignite Your Life Intensive program, which actually starts tomorrow evening. And I'll tell you all a little bit more about that at the end of the episode today. So anyway, welcome, Monica, my Spellman sister. So Monica asked about mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and engaged in the moment, being aware of your thoughts and feelings without distraction or judgment. It helps you connect with your inner self and can reduce stress by bringing a sense of calm and clarity. So I said last week, when I think of mindfulness, I think of the awareness of what is happening right here, right now. Our lives are constantly unfolding, but our minds tend to drift to the past and to the future. So it just takes awareness to stay right here, right now in the present. So that's mindfulness. So with mindfulness, you can have a non-judgmental perspective about what's happening around you and what's happening within you. You just observe and accept your thoughts and feelings as they are without trying to change them into something else. So there's many mindfulness activities that you can do. Let me just look over here. I see something out the corner of my eye. Oh, Monica says, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Me too. I'm super excited. So there's many mindfulness activities that you can do. You can do mindful breathing, which is literally being mindful of your breath and paying attention to it. You can do mindful walking, where you're paying attention to the sensation of your feet touching the ground and your surroundings. What are you seeing? Are birds chirping? Do you hear the gravel under your shoe? Mindful eating, which I've been trying to do lately, which is like savoring every bite of your meal and paying attention to the flavors and the textures. Another mindfulness activity is a body scan meditation, where you're bringing awareness to different parts of your body. And you can do that by like starting at your feet and tensing your muscles. So you might tense your calf muscle, then your thigh muscle, all the way up to like your forehead muscles, but tensing and releasing, but just being mindful of the different parts of your body. And gratitude journaling, which we talked a little bit about last week, just taking the time to think about what you're grateful for and writing it down. So there's a lot of ways to be mindful and to bring your attention to the present moment. Today, we're actually going to do an activity. It is called the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise. So I hope that you all will do this with me. Won't have me out here doing this by myself. So let me just first start by saying grounding techniques direct our attention away from overwhelming feelings associated with stress. They help reconnect our senses so that we're better equipped to manage stressful stimuli. So there's actually been research that shows that mindful awareness of the senses can reduce stress hormones like cortisol. So this 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise is a simple but powerful sensory awareness exercise. So we'll draw upon the 5 senses, and that brings our attention to the moment. So the way that this works is in stressful situations, you look for 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can feel, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. And this allows you to use all 5 senses to ground yourself in the moment. So this way you can focus your attention on what's happening in your immediate surroundings rather than being all over the place. Okay, so are you all willing to try this with me? Are you willing to try the 5-4-3-2-1 exercise? Say yes if you are, and then we'll do it. Thais says yes. Very good. Okay. So Anasia says, of course. My dad says yes. Nina says yes. Great. So actually, before we begin, let's all just take a deep breath together. Okay. I need to do that anyway. I need to slow my roll a little bit. Okay. So now you look for 5 things that you can see in your immediate surroundings. And here's the key, you say them out loud, unless it's weird. If you're on the subway or somewhere in public, maybe you don't say them out loud. People might start saying, uh-oh, what's going on? But if you can, say them out loud. So you might say, I see my computer sitting on the desk. I see an ink pen. I see a red notebook. I see clouds in the sky. I see a painting of a jazz musician on the wall. So think about how each thing looks and then acknowledge them out loud. I'll just give you a moment to do that. You don't have to type anything, but just you can just say those things out loud. All right. And then 4 things you can feel. Now think about 4 things you can feel, and you'll say these out loud. For example, you could say, I feel the soft cushion that I'm sitting on. I feel this fan blowing cool air on me. I feel the carpet between my toes. I feel the fabric on my shirt against my skin. So just spend a moment thinking about what you can feel, paying attention to the way that these things feel. Notice the textures, how things feel against your skin. And again, I'll just give you a moment. Right. The next one is 3 things you can hear. Now name 3 things you can hear around you. Take a moment to listen to any noises you can hear in your immediate surroundings. For example, the sound of traffic or birds chirping. Again, say these things out loud. So you might say, I hear the hum of this fan blowing on me. I hear a dog barking in the distance. I hear the sound of a car passing by. So 3 things that you hear. And I'll give you a moment. Right. Step 4 is 2 things you can smell. Now name 2 things you can smell in your surroundings. So maybe you notice the smell of a scented candle or food that's cooking or cologne. When you do notice a fragrance, take a deep breath and be curious about that fragrance. Is it sweet? Is it citrusy? Is it spicy? Is it funky? As you notice each scent, say it out loud. So, for instance, I smell the lemon in my lemon water. I smell the sweet smell of my lip gloss. So, 2 things you can smell. I'll give you a moment. And then the last one is 1 thing you can taste. So now you'll name 1 thing you can taste. And again, you want to say it out loud if the situation allows you to do so. Maybe you taste gum or mint that you might have, or the last thing that you ate. So I might say, I taste the lemon in the water that I'm sipping. So 1 thing you can taste. All right. And then let's take 1 more deep breath. And I'm just curious, how do you all feel after completing this grounding exercise? So if you can just type in the comments, how do you feel? The point of the exercise is to bring you to the present moment. So I'm curious to know, do you feel more present? More focused, Nina says. Excellent. Very cool. Monica says, feel centered in the moment. Yeah, I also felt more just grounded is the word that I thought. Just more present. Nasia says less anxious. Thais says, I feel more present in this moment. Like, wow, I don't notice these things. My mind is usually wandering off to everything and anything. Understandable. Keisha says more aware. Thank you all for doing this with me. I would have felt so silly if I was the only one doing it. So I appreciate it. Okay, so just to recap about the mindfulness techniques, we briefly touched on mindful breathing, mindful walking, mindful eating, the body scan meditation, gratitude journaling, and then we did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding exercise. So now let's talk about breathing exercises. Okay. So there are various breathing exercises that you can do that provide different benefits. There is basic deep breathing, which promotes relaxation and reduces stress. There is a technique called the 4-7-8 breathing technique, which calms the nervous system and reduces anxiety, improves focus. There's diaphragm breathing, which strengthens the diaphragm and promotes efficient oxygen exchange and also reduces stress. And the alternate nostril breathing, which I have tried a few times over the years and found a little challenging. I don't know if I have some blockage, actual blockage, but the alternate nostril breathing balances the nervous system, reduces stress and anxiety, and enhances mental clarity. If you are interested in more information about those breathing techniques, I actually created a PDF that I'm happy to send to you. If you type PDF, I will get that to you. Today, we're going to focus on one type of breathing called box breathing. But if you're interested in the others, just type PDF. Okay, so we are going to do box breathing. The benefit of box breathing is it enhances focus and concentration. Also, it reduces stress and promotes relaxation. So, in just a moment, we'll do 1 minute of box breathing. Okay, so the reason that it's called box breathing is because a box has 4 sides, 4 equal sides. So when you're doing this breathing technique, you're doing equal counts of 4. So you're breathing in through your nose for 4, and then you hold for 4, and then you breathe out through your mouth for 4, and then you hold again for 4. So we're going to do that for 4 cycles. So that's a little bit, it's just about 1 minute. Breathing through the nose, count of 4, hold for 4, out through the mouth, and then hold for 4. The first time I'm going to guide you, and then the second time I'm going to do it with you. Get ready. Get ready to breathe in through your nose. Okay, breathe 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, and breathe out 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. And breathe out 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. That's the last one. Okay. So I actually want to do this. So we're going to do it one more time. And this time I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to be breathing with you. Okay. Right. Okay. So, how do y'all feel? So curious. How do you feel? While you're typing, Raquel says, ah. While you're typing, I will just say that every time I do any of these breathing exercises, I always just feel my shoulders just drop and relax a little bit. I feel less tense. I feel more relaxed. Keisha says, definitely more relaxed. Monica says, I'm ready to go to sleep. Thais says, I felt the oxygen to my brain. Refreshing. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. One of the things that I just want to make sure that I don't forget to say is there are a lot of self care activities that you can do. Um, we talked about them before: exercising, reading a book, taking a bath, you know. But if you're in the heat of it at work, you can't take a bath or have a glass of wine or whatever it is. But you always have your breath available to you. So, breathing can really, really help you just get your nervous system kind of, when it's out of whack, to get it under control. So, just keep that in mind. It's always available to you. Okay, so to recap, uh, with the breathing exercises, we talked about, we very briefly mentioned basic deep breathing, 4-7-8 breathing, diaphragm breathing, alternate nostril breathing, and then, of course, box breathing, which we just did. So let's talk about incorporating stress reduction into your daily routine. So, here are some different ways that you can fit mindfulness and deep breathing into your routine. One, you can set aside time. So you can dedicate specific times during your day for stress reduction activities, like mindful breathing or journaling. You can add it to your morning or evening routine, which we spoke a little bit about last week. You can use reminders. So you can set reminders on your phone um, that remind you to take a short break and do some deep breathing or quick mindfulness exercise. You can combine activities. So you can incorporate stress reduction techniques into your existing routine, like practicing mindful breathing while you're commuting or during your lunch break. You can also do this before important meetings, like practicing a quick breathing exercise before a meeting or a presentation that can help center your thoughts and enhance your focus. I actually used to do that before I would go in to see a patient, just take a deep breath right before I walked in the room, just to kind of get myself together. So, again, the beautiful thing about breathing exercises is that you can do them at any time. Um, and I'll say, I see a couple of PDFs on here. Anasia says, like, I don't breathe deeply enough usually. So, Anasia, interestingly, when I was at the height of my burnout, I I wasn't breathing. I mean, obviously I was breathing because I'm alive, but I really was not taking deep breaths. I took shallow breaths for a year. And once I was coming out of my burnout, I said that to my husband. I feel like I haven't taken a deep breath in a whole year. So yeah, it really makes a difference. Okay. So just to recap, we have covered a lot today. We discussed practical stress reduction techniques, including mindfulness and breathing exercises, and how you can incorporate them into your daily routine. So I hope you found these stress reduction techniques valuable, and I hope that you're excited to use them in your daily routine. Now, as promised, let me tell you a little bit about my 4-week program that Monica signed up for, which starts tomorrow. So I know that there may be some ladies watching who are feeling overwhelmed, just constantly juggling demanding careers and personal responsibilities. There's stress, there's burnout, relentless pressure, and it can feel unbearable at times. And I do understand that feeling and how challenging that is. I was there. But what if I told you that there is a way to reclaim your power and rediscover your spark? What if you could wake up each day feeling energized and focused and in control without the constant feeling of being overwhelmed? That is exactly what the 4-week Reignite Your Life intensive program is designed to do. Let me tell you all a little bit about it. It's a 4-week hands-on program where you will create your own personalized anti-burnout plan tailored to your unique needs and challenges. We'll work together to identify your values and your priorities, to learn how to set boundaries, and to integrate effective self-care practices that rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. And best part, you'll do this in a community of like-minded professional women who will become your accountability tribe. I am so excited about this group of ladies. Anyhow, let me get back to what I'm saying here. We will meet once a week for 4 weeks virtually, and you'll walk away with your own tangible, customized anti-burnout plan. The reason I'm so excited about the accountability tribe is because a lot of times burnout feels very lonely and isolating. And so it is so nice to be around a group of people who understand where you're coming from. So imagine having the tools and support to not only manage your stress, but to thrive in both your professional and personal life. This program is not just about surviving, it's about thriving beyond burnout and achieving life work harmony. Okay, so next week's topic is live your values, practical strategies for everyday decisions, where we'll share strategies to ensure that your daily activities align with your personal values. This boosts your sense of purpose and satisfaction. So I hope you'll come back next week. So thank you all so much for joining. So let me just check the comments before we sign off here. Hey, Carlise. Carlise is also in our Reignite Your Life program. She says she's at work, but still listening. Hey, Malik. Malik is listening. Tai says thank you. All right. Well, on that note, I hope that you all will come back next Wednesday at 7. And we'll go ahead and sign off. All right, beautiful people. I'll see you next week.